It's the LAFC with the 42 original with Raider Rubin and Mace. Hold on, wait. No Mace?
Wait.
No Mace. No Mace.
No Mace? Oh, cut.
Yes. It's that time again. Sit back, relax, and let us take you home. We are Two Dudes, One Pod.
We're here at the Sunset Room
Yep.
in Hacienda, doing it all over again.
Yep.
You have yourself a good weekend?
Yeah, I really did. Made another trip, not surprising, to Yaamava.
Oh, nice.
You know, we should try to get them as a sponsor since I'm always there,
Mm-hmm.
And, Paris is a heavier sponsor because she spends a lot of money there. So, but she's been on a win streak lately. She had a losing streak, and then the last few times we've gone, she wins. So
What's her game? What's her game of choice?
blackjack. It's always blackjack. I can't get her to do anything.
Black.
Any other game, just blackjack.
It's kind of like that saying, like, if it ain't broke, don't fix it then, right?
Right.
So, but, I used to dabble a little bit into Texas Hold'em. One of those, go over to a buddy's house, 3 or 4 of us, like a $10 buy-in type of thing. Never done the actual, like, poker room setting. Actually, take that back. I've done it once, and I made it past the first wave kind of thing, and then was out immediately. But it's enjoyable to go and watch people play. Like, I used to watch my friend play, and he gets down with it. But at some point, I'm just like, all right, I'm over it,
With Paris, like, I'll watch her. If she's winning, I'll hang out. If she's losing, I'll just kind of walk away because I'm thinking maybe I'm the bad luck, and I'll walk over to Rock and Brews and watch her little cover bands play,
Mm-hmm.
And stuff like that. And enjoy it until she texts me, I'm done. I got my winnies. Let's go.
Is she somebody that is good at leaving the table when it's time to leave the table?
She didn't used to be, but now she's really good at, she sets a limit. When I win this much, I'm leaving.
That's good.
When I lose this much,
Mhm.
I'm leaving. So,
Mhm.
yeah. I had to teach her some of my crypto.
Yeah.
I kind of, I do my gambling's crypto, and that's what I do. Like, I set a goal. When I profit this much, I'm taking it. Even though it keeps going up, I'll just take my profits and run.
Mhm.
Or vice versa. If it goes down too far, I'm out.
Does she do crypto as well, or?
She does. She has a lot of crypto, but only because it's stuff that I helped her with.
Okay.
And, I kind of help guide her, but she's counting on me to just sell and buy. She's got her own digital wallets, but, I help. But sometimes it's hard, because she's at work. I'm selling my stuff, and I'll be like, you need to be selling right now,
Yeah.
We're buying.
Yeah.
So it gets a little, she's like, how come you have more than I do? Like, and I put in more. I go, because I able to hit the trigger quick
Right.
when I have to. So,
Right. So you make that crypto
yeah.
bacon then.
I did make and continue to make a lot of money on a token called Mother. And it's a token by Iggy Azalea.
Okay.
That's why I thought it'd be interesting. Like, who wants, I know our audience isn't really that much into crypto, but this one's interesting because it's Iggy Azalea. It's pumping big time.
Mm-hmm.
Like, so I'm just writing on that one. I did take profits, and then I left half in to watch it climb. There's times where I say I should have left it all in because it's still going,
Mm-hmm.
but I stick to my rule of taking the profits. But yeah, Iggy knows what she's doing.
Is there like a wave of celebrities who are
Yeah,
getting more into
it's only
crypto?
the beginning. It started with Jenner, believe it or not, Caitlyn Jenner, and I bought some. I bought a big bag, and then I got into some of the spaces on Twitter and group chats and stuff, and it just didn't feel right. So I literally tweeted it. I said, I'm taking all my Jenner out and putting it into Iggy. Literally the next day, it just started shooting up. It was like sometimes you make the right call, and Jenner started tanking.
Right.
So then I started getting all these DMs in the crypto community. What are you doing? How did you know? And all that. But you just know from just watching, hanging out in spaces, group chats,
Mm-hmm.
stuff. I even had Caitlyn Jenner interact with me.
Oh, wow. Okay.
That was interesting in a space. But yeah, she's got a good cult following, and she's always been a disruptor. And once she's put her mind on something, like she was huge on OnlyFans,
Mm-hmm.
and she announced she was getting out of OnlyFans to focus on this. So
Okay.
she's surrounding herself with the right people. So For now,
Okay.
I'm riding that wave.
Okay. It's interesting because I was reading an article actually last night about the new wave of athletes buying stakes into football clubs, like soccer clubs. From LeBron, and even saw Larry Nance Jr. He's part owner or has stake in Leeds football club along with TJ McConnell. So there's this new wave of athletes investing in other endeavors, just understanding the landscape of how that can accumulate money and the growth of their brand and so forth.
I can respect any celebrity or athlete or even just anybody actually that invests their money versus flexing and buying a bunch of material things, and because that stuff, man, you'll go through your money quick. So yeah, I always like to see them invest versus seems like today's athletes are getting smarter when it comes to investing, getting the right advice versus just blowing it all
Right.
and dumb stuff.
I mean, especially like when you see somebody like Antonio Brown who's filing bankruptcy, it's unfortunate how the reality of how quickly this money can go.
Right.
If you don't know how to invest, if you don't know the landscape, the framework of what to do with your money, and because you can only be in your profession for so long, it's just a reminder, like you said, people be more in tune with the opportunities that are out there, and really the kind of the reciprocation of showcasing each other. Like crypto's probably getting a lot more. Obviously, it's been getting more rise, but when you having those participate in it, it's putting it out there to other people that might not know about it as much. So it's a good cross branding, cross marketing, and all that stuff. But speaking of branding, we got the Mandy's coming up. Mandy's 3.
Oh man.
Mandy's 3. And the tickets have gone on sale. By the time we're probably done with this episode, the tickets will probably be all sold out.
I've seen a lot of interest in the communities, a lot of excitement, a lot of more planning, a lot more people getting rooms at the Commerce Casino, pre-parties, post-parties. I think this will be the best one yet because let's face it, I mean, it's still new. So I think ESPN LA, they learn from each one and say, what could we do better? And it's obvious that they're tinkering, but I think this one's going to be pretty wild.
Yeah.
Especially the hangout afterwards, because there's going to be more space, going to be more open for everybody to hang out. We got a table with dinner.
How many tables you got? You got like 5 tables, right?
I went in there pretty aggressively, and I was able to
Yeah,
get
man.
a few tables for,
Helping the communities out,
a
bro.
lot for the cot and so we could all sit together, and some of the mafia and stuff like that. Radio Michael, I know, is getting a table, so it's gonna be wild.
Man, I can't wait, bro. It's gonna be epic. Like you said, it's new, but it seems like you're getting a little bit more familiarized. People planning things a little bit more earlier, as you mentioned. People getting rooms even. So I'm sure the next day we'll be linking up and sharing memories of how the night went.
We were talking brunch in the morning.
Yeah.
So whether you get a room or not, just fly on by. I mean, we won't be eating brunch at 7 a.m.
Right.
It's gonna be a long night, but I don't know, maybe between.
Hence the word brunch, right? 11 or 12 or something like that.
Closer to noon, we'll do brunch and hang out, man, and let's see what host will hang out with us and not make empty promises.
Who would ever do such a thing? There's no,
man.
I don't know anybody like that who would make empty promises.
Yeah.
Sorry, Mason. You were caught in the act. Raider Ruben, another diehard, just listener, great, just provider to the communities. As we knew, he had been speaking with Mason prior to him going to this LAFC match that took place this past weekend. They've been in the works for months. They were going to chill together in
42
originals.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they, Raider Ruben even went on the show, on the call.
Yeah.
Talked about it. He even brought him a scarf, and there was all this anticipation. And the next thing you know, nada, nothing.
Yeah. Told his homies, they're there at the game. His homies at 42 were he's coming, right? Mate, you promised he was guys, I got you. Mace is coming. He's gonna join us right now. Any minute, he's coming. Just watch. He promised. And the homies were like, I don't know, man. One of his homies in the section said, "Isn't that Mace down there on the field? Isn't that the scarf he gave you?"
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it's
Just all jokes aside, it is unfortunate because Raider Ruben he's a great homie, a great listener, and I will just say this: I understand the radio personalities, all of them, they do a lot, right? Really to mesh with the listeners, to give their appreciation to the listeners. It's just one of those things where you plan months, right? It's like and for Raider Ruben, he was really stoked for this, like ecstatic, like you mentioned, like this was something in the making that he'd been preparing. And I know that Mace and Bergman have been apologetic, but it's just like, being down there on the field, it's like you could have made a little visit. Come on, you could have made a little time to just say what up to a dude who's been, supportive, and you guys been planning this. But nevertheless, Raider Ruben's taking in stride, I think.
I know Mace went on Sedano and Cap, which was cool, and he apologized, and they were trying to get Greg on, Bergman. And then they said he was at dinner with Ireland.
Oh.
So then he said, well, he's having dinner with Ireland, and he says Mace can handle it and handle the apology. So in my mind, I'm thinking Ireland's having dinner with, Bergie's all, I got a call, and Ireland's was like, the trolls, don't call the trolls.
The circle of
The
trolls.
trolls, don't call them.
Ireland has a little bit of that Decepticon in him as well to stoke the flames a little bit, but hopefully, Mace has said, "Oh, the next time."
Well, he did offer to, he made an offer to make it up to him another game and stuff. It looks like Ruben was kind of like pushing back a little bit, but it could be like some of that could be the bit. I'm sure they'll figure it out. It's going to be awkward at the Mandy's, right? I know Ruben's sitting with us at the table. So.
I heard the rumbling is there might be a walkout. Mace wins. I've been hearing
5 tables standing.
5 tables standing, just walking out.
Ooh, that would be.
I don't know. That's just what I saw. I don't know, but I guess we'll see. No, all in fun. Caitlin Clark has been in the news. WNBA overall has been in the news.
I haven't noticed. Really?
I mean, right? Like I don't know. There's just just Caitlin Clark. They're saying, is she being targeted? Is the league kind of conspiring in a way where they want to send her a message, and because she's received all this accolades and
look, first of all, they say the WNBA is too soft, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then they finally start. They've never really been soft if you ever watch any WNBA games, but that was a perception.
Mm-hmm.
And they're just going at it like the men do. It's great for the sport, man. I don't think Caitlin Clark, is she complaining about it?
She's somewhat not necessarily complaining, but she's just recognizing that because there's attention on her, it's gonna happen. She's gonna get that type of
Well, I mean, just
physicality and
LeBron treatment, right?
Right.
Same, But it goes with the territory. But I feel like this is what makes it interesting. You have your villains, you have your so-called villains, so-called heroes. Sometimes it's the other way around.
Mm-hmm.
But and they're just competing, man. And they're there's chat. One thing they say, oh well, she was chatting, she was being chatty, so she deserved it.
Right.
No, here's how I look at that. Chirping, when you're chirping at somebody, you know what they deserve back? Chirping.
Right.
Now, if they hit you, then you hit them back.
Yes,
That's the way it works.
Yes,
Eye for an eye.
yes.
Whatever. It's not like they chirp you, you freaking knock them.
Yeah.
No.
It's not like you push somebody and then they go and slash your tire.
Yeah, you chirp back. And
Yeah.
then, the first time they hit you, well, now you got to hit back.
Mm-hmm.
So, I don't know. And, I have a theory that I was thinking about, but I haven't heard on all the chatter.
All right, let's hear this theory.
There's nothing going on.
Uh-huh.
The NBA Finals isn't until Thursday. There's nothing going on, right? So I think, what are we going to do? So,
We got to create some type of
Thank God for the WNBA now. They got another spin cycle during those times, NBA final season. If you get the sweeps or whatever, and there's too much space in between the games or whatever, now they have the WNBA.
That's a good I like
So
that theory.
I'm gonna look at this pattern now every year. I'm gonna be like, it's kind of like politics, right?
Right,
What are
right.
they gonna do to stir things up? And I guarantee you this will be a pattern every single season now. Come NBA finals, when they have that gap before the finals, they're gonna fill it in with WNBA.
Especially with exactly because there's so much a gap between these two teams. So definitely can see, the kind of trying to find something to keep people in the
what?
generated
And
network.
I love Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark. Like, they're so different, but they're both like.
And Cameron Brink too for the
Yeah,
Sparks. Yeah, dude.
So it's just like, it's so interesting. It's just like, I don't know why people think, as they always do, like they have to pick a side. You don't have to pick a side.
Exactly.
It's like good fun. I haven't seen anything from anyone that would make me say, "Oh, I hate that player." I haven't seen it.
And what's interesting is that even kind of with maybe the division between Caitlin Clarkson or how polarized she is, WNBA games in general have surpassed over 1 million viewership.
Yeah,
So that's the most that in 16 years they already have games that have gone over 1 million views. So, I mean, you see that her presence along with the other stars, and I'm saying it right now, I think George Sedano mentioned this, but Juju Watkins from USC, she's going to be the next stud. She's going to take over, like she will be the face along with Caitlin Clark. I'm calling her right now. Those two are going to usher in that the yin and the yang, but overall it's interesting. I like it.
Yeah,
I like this.
Makes us want to watch it.
Kennedy Carter saying, like, when she fouls Caitlin Clark, she's like, I don't want to talk about her,
Right.
like in post game, like
so different than the men, right?
exactly.
Like,
You even got Draymond Green saying like, hey, do you guys need to hire an enforcer? Like,
I did totally agree with Matt Barnes, and I wasn't thinking about this at the time, but when he said it, it was so obvious.
what did he say?
He said, his beef was, what about her teammates? Why aren't they coming to her defense?
Right, that is interesting.
Yeah, and I was like, he's right, and that's what teams do, right? They should be the ones coming to her defense, picking her up, starting.
That is very true.
Don't come at our star player.
Because even on that shove by Kennedy Carter, the flagrant, none of her teammates, Caitlin Clark, came to just. That's what's more telling about something.
Yeah, so
A little bit more interesting.
how she is in the locker room, but that was interesting. And let's face it, there's a big pay difference.
Mm-hmm.
When it comes to money, it always.
And just overall the nature of the competitive beast. Everybody's vying for your spot. You're just as good as the next player that's coming in. So they're all vying for that number one spot. Caitlin Clark has had a lot of accolades, has had a lot of notoriety coming in.
Point.
So they are aiming at her. They're like, you're that girl. Let's see it.
And for the first time, all eyes are on the WNBA.
Right.
So everybody's trying to get their shine, their attention. They're
Exactly.
like, hey, we want some of that spotlight. So I think it's just going to keep getting better. And there's going to be a lot of controversy, but it's all going to be good.
Any publicity is good publicity, right?
The only one that really messed up was McAfee. When he used the B word.
Right.
That was kind of messed up.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, everything else, it is what it is.
Yeah.
So.
Not just the women, but the men speaking about it, touching on it, people making comments, as you mentioned, Matt Barnes, like, former NBA players, like, why aren't the teammates coming to their support? So it's just good to have. I think it's just an overall depiction of how much attention it's getting.
A lot of people putting their feet in their mouths, man. A lot of stuff going on, like Stephen A. Smith.
Oh, God, Stephen A. Smith. I wanted to talk about something that John Ireland brought up with Scarlett Johansson and the AI controversy or the lawsuit that's being filed. I just have a quick little update on that. According to the CEO of the Chat GPT company that is under scrutiny for using a voice that sounds similar to Scarlett Johansson, the CEO is claiming that basically they had given out auditions months in advance before they spoke to Scarlett Johansson, and that they had made requirements as to what they were looking for. They just wanted someone that had a very smooth, high energetic voice. And so it's just kind of interesting because I'm sure you all have heard Scarlett Johansson is suing this company for basically using a voice activation feature that sounds very eerily similar to hers. And I think we discussed it episodes prior about that movie Her,
Right.
how she plays that AI kind
Yeah.
of dating voice. And so there's been a lot of scrutiny as to with AI in general. This is kind of the example that they're making, like see how close this is coming to the brink of like just erasing people, you know?
Just a couple days ago, they had that Caitlin Clark press conference where she's bashing her teammates.
That's right.
That wasn't even it was her voice.
That's
but not
right.
her.
That's right.
And they've done stuff with Steph Curry.
That's right.
So,
even
yeah,
with the politics, they've done things
Right.
with Trump and Biden, vice versa, like voices and things of that nature. And
Yeah, like Biden's like really smart and really energetic. That's AI that makes him look like that. I mean, he's freaking an innocent guy, and they make him look bad. He's an angel. Like what AI does to these guys.
it's crazy. But but do you think it's just the overall, because we use AI for some of the things we do content wise. 10, 15 years down the pipeline, what's your vision or what are your outlook on how it's going to look like?
Overall, I think it's good, which is an unpopular opinion, but I also think there'll eventually be tools also that will help identify what's not,
Real and let's
and those will be the next billionaires that create those tools.
right.
Simple tools that how you can distinguish whether it's AI or not.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's definitely a threat to a lot of industries. Like you can go on and on, even filmmaking and radio,
Yeah.
you name it, man. Anything really.
Ultimately, it could cross that line. The way they're able to write, draw, sing, etc. I just don't know if it's going to be replacing it that soon. I think maybe down the threshold there could be, but I think
I don't know. I'm in my 50s, and as I've seen technology progress, this is the fastest I've ever seen stuff just happen. And we thought it was going fast before, but it is almost at a rapid rate. Even people that messing around with ChatGPT, every new update, it's better than the last.
right.
And then it's got all these competitors, and then the way they merge everything together, it's pretty wild, but it's at a rapid pace. I would tell people to invest in AI companies and up and comers, and learn AI and learn how to, if you can't beat them, join them. And those are all the jobs of the future, man.
That's true.
I mean, that's what it is.
Especially in terms of like the path of going to college and getting your degree. Now they just want, if you're tech savvy and you're able to understand these applications and you can function them. I mean,
And there's companies that don't have time for this. Let's face it. Most companies, most CEOs, a lot of them are young, but a lot of them are older, and they don't want to mess with it. So they'll hire you. Do you know AI? Yes, I do. Okay, we're gonna hire you and pay you $100,000 a year to just do our AI stuff.
right.
We need to create this. We need to do that. We need to do this. So there's gonna be a lot of different jobs that I think that are born out of this too. But we just gotta, be ready to adapt to change and
Right.
do those things.
That's really the end game. How quickly are you able to adapt? And
I tell you what, man, I could have used an AI bot to buy those Mandy tickets. Like when you're trying to buy a bunch of Mandy's tickets, if I had a bot that could just connect to the ticket thing to buy all the tickets for me, and I'm not all stressed out trying to type in and do all this stuff and for it to go through and process, that would have been great.
I'm sure they'll come up with something like that soon, right?
Here's the scary thing. AI, there's functions where you go into the prompt and say, create a code that creates a bot for me to buy tickets. And it'll do it for you. Just got to use the right prompts and stuff.
Lawsuits like Scarlett Johansson will just be kind of a reminder of that pushback. Like there's going to be that line of resistance. But well, that's all we got on tap. Make sure you enjoy a nice Modelo if you can, ladies and gentlemen. And also, if you haven't bought tickets to the Mandy, get them now because they will sell out quick. Well, Crypto.
All right, man.
Good out. Circle out.